Hello and welcome back to ULMX, Universal Language Media Exchange. ULMX is a language learning app, and we also talk about society and culture. Today we're talking about 3 things common in Germany that you will not find in the United States. Starting with police driving Mercedes. In the United States, I think all the police cars are American made. It used to be that they all pretty much drove Ford Crown Victorias, but recently they made a switch to the Dodge Charger, which is a pretty intimidating looking car if you ever get pulled over by one. And you should be careful because actually, while we're talking about things that you don't see and talking about the police, you might not see the police. You might not be used to the fact that the police have kind of like a camouflage look to them. They're pretty indescript, the cars. It's not like in Germany where they're bright, reflective, green, yellow. They're blending in. You know, they're more like Blitzer than police cars in Germany. Right when you're not expecting them, you come around the corner and there they are. And you don't get a ticket in the mail, they're going to pull you over. So definitely be careful because you might not see them. And you definitely won't see them driving Mercedes. The next thing that you won't see in the United States, which is very common in Germany, is a toilet brush next to the toilet in a public restroom, including perhaps at your employer. That's just not used. If someone needed it, they probably still wouldn't use it because they would think that the brush is too disgusting, so they're not going to use it. So there's no brush there because no one would use it anyway. What you might see is a plunger, but that's something you would probably only see in like a gas station bathroom or something like that. But that has to do with the toilets being different. They're a lot easier to clog than the German toilets. But you also don't need the brush as much because the German toilets are a lot harder to keep clean. And at a personal residence, at home, you're going to see the brush. The brush is normal. But not in a public restroom. No one would use it because they would think, oh, it's too disgusting, it's too dirty, it's got too many germs on it. But you also kind of don't need it because, yeah, that's delegated. That's definitely left to the professionals. And the last thing that you're just not going to see, and it's a real shame, is 2-ring binders. Lights. 2-ring binders. Oh, it's so much better here in Germany for people who have to punch holes in papers and then bind them with a big folder, or, as we like to say in German, Ordner. And the reason that it's much nicer in Germany is it works. In America, you have these 3-ring binders instead of 2-ring, and they always break. They never last more than a couple of months at the most. I remember at the beginning of every school year, from maybe grades 3 to 9 probably, like every year you had to go to Staples, buy a bunch of new 3-ring binders, and they just broke every year halfway through the year, and you just ended up using like the one zipper one that kind of held together. And the reason is the mechanism is just cheap, crappy, flimsy, and will break in about 2 seconds and no one's surprised. The teeth will eventually, like, you have these 3 teeth and they eventually just stop lining up with each other. So you have like these ripping shred teeth that are just there to tear apart your papers. It's awful. In Germany, for those of you guys who have never experienced the pleasure of a Leitsordner, there's the 2, and the connection is actually a little bit asymmetrical. So you have one that's pretty much straight, and then it kind of connects not in the very middle, which helps it because what underneath there's this special lever, and the lever is what actually closes the thing. And when you do that lever, and because it's a little bit more on one side, you're really cranking it down. It's giving it a real good leverage and giving it like a nice feel, and it works. That's all I can say. They work way better than the 3-ring binders. So for people going from Germany to the United States, maybe pack a couple of those with you and the 2-hole punch, because you're not going to be able to get them. They're not going to be easy to find, if at all. I've never seen them, but what I do think you'll be able to find a 2-hole punch though. I think lawyers use 2-hole punches, but what they do is they put the holes at the top. So good luck finding the Leitsordner, honestly. So such a shame. Such a deciding factor why I'll probably never move back to the United States to ring binders. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like it, hit like. If you have your own insights, if these were surprising or not surprising to you, comment down below and let us know what you think. And if you didn't like it, subscribe. We'll see you next time. ULMX, Universal Language Media Exchange.